GNB Mosaïk is a newcomer hiring program that was co-created to ensure that newcomers have an employment pathway into finding meaningful employment here in New Brunswick. The program started in August of 2022 in response to certain things that we have noticed over time. We're facing quite a bit of provincial skills shortages, and so in order to address that, we have to think about how we are hiring. And another thing that we noticed is an increase in immigration. And so there's a talent pool that exists, of newcomers who are looking to find meaningful employment here in New Brunswick. So we are taking advantage of that talent pool and making sure that we are creating a pathway for those newcomers who are coming into the province and saying that they want to work with us. Another intended outcome we have is, again, to make sure that our workforce is reflecting the diversity that we are seeing more and more in our communities here in New Brunswick. And then in the long run, another outcome that we're looking for is that newcomers feel welcome here in New Brunswick and are able to make New Brunswick a first choice for them. There is a place here for them, and we want them to see that you're part of our picture, right? We want you to see yourself as part of us here, and you're welcome to be here. Two major clients, I would say, that utilize the program. It would be the employer end and the person seeking employment. So on the employer end, we have the government departments who are looking to find their next, teammate. And on the other end of it is the newcomers who are here in Canada who are looking to find meaningful employment within the government. So we have two eligibility criteria for enrolling in the program. The first one is that you must identify as a newcomer, which is anyone who was not born in Canada. And the second one is authorization to work in Canada. When a newcomer enrolls in the program, the first thing that happens is you go into the website, you find the enroll button, click on it, and you provide us with your profile. So you go in there, you put in your educational background, your professional background if you have any, you upload your resume as well. And I think we even give you an opportunity to upload a video should you want to. We also have a spot where you can upload past works. And so that allows us to sort you into skills pools. We have a centralized hiring pool. It allows us to have a comprehensive view of what vacancies exist within government right now, and also how we can efficiently match newcomers to those job opportunities. We have sorted our talent pool based off of what are the most or the highest in demand skills that we're seeing across government right now. And once you're sorted into the skills pools, the next thing that happens is we send out weekly emails to our HR network to let them know that a few new people have joined. And so if I'm looking for project managers, for example, and I'm a hiring manager, and so I'm able to scroll through and see and say, oh, this person is new, they have this, they have this, they have that, perfect. I'd love an opportunity to speak more with them. So they'd reach out to us and let us know that I have found someone in your database that I have access to, or in your skills pool that I have access to, and I would like to speak with them about this job opportunity. So that I would say that is like step 3 or 4A in our process. 4B would then be the department who has a job opening would reach out to us to say, hey, GNB Mosaïk, we have this particular job opening. Do you have any candidates that might fit this opportunity? And we'll go back into our database, sort through, find candidates that would be the best fit for this, and send it to the departments. And then the departments would reach out to them to say, we've gotten your profile from GNB Mosaïk. We think you'd be a great fit. Here's the job description. Here are the details. Would like to set up an interview with you. We also have an informal and inclusive interview method. So we don't use the BEI approach for interviewing, which is where scenarios are given, where you ask questions like, can you tell me about a time when you did X, Y, Z, ABC? or when XYZ ABC happened and how did you handle it? That style of interview does not necessarily allow for newcomers to shine, especially in cases where English is not their first language. People tend to go off on a tangent and tell you this long story about something that happened, and somehow they tend not to make it to the part where they get to talk about their skills. When you ask directly and you simplify and you say, how do you use this database, for example, if that's the question on hand, or what kind of tools are you familiar with, that allows you to see exactly, you get the direct answer that you're looking for. So what we do is when a department is set or primed to hire through us, many a times we do share our interview guide with these departments and hiring managers. It's not a rule, it's more of a guide. So we don't expect everyone to follow it as is, but we hope that, in partnering with us and looking to hire through us, you would consider, the recommendations that we're making. Our hope is that the interview is successful, right? So following a successful interview, a job offer is made. Or if it's not successful, then you are, of course, informed that it didn't work out this time. I think something very unique that we do is we don't discard the candidates who were not successful. We retain your information and we continue to share your profile with our hiring network for as long as you indicate interest in being shared with our hiring network. I would say that the key features of our program are very, very much entrenched in the 3 pillars upon which the program is supported, which is language support. We provide language support because we have identified language to be a barrier for newcomers coming into Canada. New Brunswick in itself is very unique in that we are a bilingual province, and so our services are provided bilingually. We take a 3-pronged approach to support newcomers who don't have English or French as their first language, but they have the skills to do the job. With the 3-pronged approach, we're able to support them by either providing translation services right from the point of interview up until they're settled into their workspace and can carry out their job successfully. And the other prong of this approach is language training. So we're able to connect our clients with language training programs so they can register, enroll in language training. And the third thing that we're looking at is automated language translation. So we're looking at technology, AI, that we can possibly take up to address, that barrier in language and make sure that people are able to do their jobs, effectively and efficiently without language being a problem. So that's one of our major features, is one of the major pillars for which the program is established upon. The next one is employment. So with employment, we are making sure that we're connecting people to the right opportunities. Making sure that, we're making the right matches for people. We're not just putting them in survival jobs, right? We're putting them in meaningful opportunities that will better their lives, that, help them to continue to choose New Brunswick as, the province of choice where they want to stay, live, and work in. Another feature that we have is the community. With the community pillar, what we're doing there is taking that human-centered approach and considering their actual needs. So what we try to do is make that connection with settlement agencies for candidates that come into working at GNB through the program, and making sure that they're aware of community-based supports that they're able to take advantage of. And that many times makes the difference between who stays and who leaves. We also have a mentorship and professional development program. So we offer mentorship to people who are hired through the program to provide them that, hands-on support. So we have a good number of reasons why you might be looking for a mentor, and we try to make connections based off of that. We've had people, who have reached out to say, I would like a mentor that can support me with improving my language. I would like someone who has had 5 years work experience in government and can show me the ropes as to how I can have a similar career as them.
So the mentor is basically any employee from within the Government of New Brunswick. Not only they find meaningful support by mentor, but also they can address any problems or questions they might have and which we cannot help them with.
One of the things that we do is make sure that our employees are ready, so our current employees, our current workforce, are ready to receive a more diverse work colleagues, right? And so we're providing trainings in terms of cultural competency, in terms of anti-racism. We don't want to see people come into jobs and, after 3 months be told that, oh, it didn't work out. And that's because of some cultural differences that exist. And in order to address that, we are having, trainings designed around that to make sure that people are able to keep their jobs. When the program was greenlit to go, one of the agreements that we had, or one of the stipulations of our existence, is that we had to write a quarterly and annual report. So we have to collect this information. We have targets that we're expected to meet. We're looking at percentage of people hired. We're looking at percentages of people who are being supported for language. We're looking at, how many settlement agencies are we connected with? How are we connecting with them? We collect information on trainings that are being offered through the program and the people who are getting the trainings. So currently we have, interestingly, 4,904 people currently enrolled in the program. That's a very interesting and mind-blowing number. We have been able to successfully hire and place 308 of them through the program. We are also connected with, I believe, is over 115 hiring managers, all through the 14 departments of government. We have seen our departments respond, very agreeably to the program. We are seeing them make adjustments and even address some policies in some cases, to say, okay, we should be making accommodations for that. And that's some of the feedback that we've gotten, is because of some of the trainings that we've done as a result of the existence of your program, we're reevaluating how we do certain things over here in terms of hiring. We get feedback from the departments who have hired through us to see how people are doing in their new jobs, and to make sure that they're settling well into their new jobs. And that way we get that feedback that, oh, they're doing really well, we're happy to have them. We have seen mentorship lead to people finding even better opportunities and exploring, development of their career and expanding beyond what they came in as, or what they thought, or how far they thought they could go. Another thing that we do is with the success stories is get that individual actually to share their stories with us. You're asked about your experience being hired through the program, and your experience after being hired, just settling into your workplace. So that's another way that we collect data. I think one of the things that people would have given us feedback that they like is how we customize for them. So we're able to customize for your unique needs. Another thing is the language support. I think that's a very, very big part of what we're able to support our candidates with. We've had people who came in through the program who had absolutely no English, no French, but lots of qualifications and skills. And we've given them the chance. We've, advocated for them to be giving a chance for a job within government. They have found these jobs, worked with their translators, attended their language training, classes, and today they're working independently on their own and have been able to take up the language. And for some people, we're seeing a turnaround in their language skills in as quick as 1 year.
So I had one person who needed some translation support, and she came from Ukraine, and she couldn't really speak English at all. And I was supporting her through meetings and her work, like explaining tasks and helping to communicate with her teammates and manager. And after a year of work, she was also attending language classes. And after a year, her manager said that she was already good with her language and confident enough to work on her own. So she wouldn't need me anymore. And that's really important to help people to gain confidence and help them through this journey.
I'm Ukrainian. I came to Canada in June 2022 because the war in Ukraine broke my life. And I didn't prepare for moving in Canada. I have a 3 bachelor's degree, 1 master's degree, and 1 PhD degree. I had a huge experience in management because in Ukraine I was a director for one of medical universities. Our management consider hire me because one of our goals, this is human-centered approach to removing barriers to traditional hiring processes. And that time I'm sure it was removed because I was not confident with my language skills. After just a couple of interviews, I was hired as HR consultant.
I would say that this program can run literally anywhere in rural communities, in more metropolitan cities. We can see this program, run there. You just have to customize for who your target client is and who the target audience is. Be flexible, be adaptable, and be open to adjusting for your unique situation.
Any program which puts newcomer in the center and do everything for the person is the best program which Canada can have. And me personally, I am proud to be a part of this program because we not only help people like individualities, we help their families. We can not only change lives of people, we also change the system. People get to use to some ways of conducting interviews or hiring others, but when we show them how to do this for newcomers, how to cover the needs of people who are new to the system, they listen, and this is the most important part.
I mentioned that we have 308 people employed through the program, but I don't consider it as 308 individuals. I consider it as 308 families. Those are 308 families that we've helped make the choice of New Brunswick. Those are 308 families who have chosen to make this province their home, and I just think that it goes to show how much people are interested in us as a province and how important this program is in growing the province in every way possible.